get to the final day of pool action here in the men's division. The European Box Lacrosse Championships 2026. My name's Tino Farah. Pleased to be joined by my good buddy Garrett Gosshorn for the first time on a call in, what do we say, 2 years?
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3 years. My, oh my, from all the way back in Victoria, British Columbia to Prague. What a journey it's been. And we are now going to turn our attention to Ireland versus England. We got a big one on tap here, Garrett. A lot is on the line, and two teams with very similar journeys in how they got to this point.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it on paper, they are very similarly matched up. I was speaking with both of the teams before the game, and England was telling me that basically they feel like the competition here is so strong in Prague that basically any of the top 7 teams could go in any place from 1 to 7. And he said that they just need to figure out like who's going to show up that day. And so I asked, what was that distinction? So they went back. They really felt like their biggest place to learn from was their game versus Finland, that overtime loss 12-13, and they know what they need to fix. They had a good practice yesterday. They got to bump it up early in the morning to negate a little bit of the heat effect from the heat dome over Europe right now. And so that's sort of what we're seeing from the English side. Now, on the Irish side, they know that they are looking to start fast, kind of come out on top, because they feel like England comes out really strong and are aggressive early and maybe sort of plateau or sort of find their rhythm later in the game with a little bit more slowed down pace. So Ireland's going to look to match that, but they want to stay steady. They don't want to ride too high nor too low.
England are the defending champs at the European Championships back in 2022, and you're going to look right now at the starting goaltenders in for Ireland, as he's played every single minute, every single second, except for 4 minutes and 49 seconds for the Irish. It's Devlin Shanahan, the backup goaltender for the Georgia Swarm in the National Lacrosse League. At the other end, Cam McLeod getting the night off. In comes Jacob Brindle. He spent some time with Cam McLeod and put up a .640 save percentage through 2 quarters versus the Netherlands. And it looks like the two teams are ready to go. The officials are as well. Garrett, while we got some time, why don't you get in the referees before we get a little too far?
We got our head referee Greg Hart, Tyler Boyer, and Cameron Anderson, with the backup being Jason Sirtuk, all from Western Canada.
Neil Adamson finds the loose ball, and here come the Irish. Daniel Clark wants to peel off to the bench as well. No Daniel O'Gorman, no Quinn Cerati, and no Brian Gillis. The Irish are without their captain in this game. But here's Matt Duncan. He can certainly do a lot as he spins one through, and already a tough save by Jacob Brindle.
Matt Duncan, probably my offensive player to watch for the Irish. He's got incredibly silky, smooth hands, and he's really athletic, the way that he has such great footwork. So look for him to make a big impact for Ireland.
Bucknell. Hard swing across. England, you talked about their early start. They want to get something going early on. Devlin Shanahan, a twister, can't beat him 5-0. That is a goaltender that sees the ball so well here in this outdoor venue. Now Smith on the drop feed. Here comes Cale Grahan, sidestepping his way towards the half wall. Shanahan, and now the righties will go to work. Chance now for Connor Foley. He can't find topside. He'll try underneath, shooting and scoring. There's the early start, but it's the Irish who go up 1-0.
Connor Foley, he heard me say that the player to watch was not him and said, hey, watch me do this. He's so fast. He's so athletic. Gets that shot, buries that off the legs of Brindle. First shot, first goal for the Irish.
Keep in mind, I mean, both teams will make it through to the next round. It's just a matter of where you're going to play the extra day off, and who you're going to play against. The winner of this one will finish second in their pool and go on to play the winner of Scotland versus Italy. So Italy fell to Israel just before this game, and the loser has to play that extra game in the play-in round versus Belgium. So still a lot on the line between these two teams in the final day of pool play, and Roper will fire that wide of the goal and out of play. Now Clark So he's got Roper trailing behind him, a little bit of back pressure, and we'll see if the English forward can get off. So he makes his way over to the bench now to be replaced by a defensive teammate. Here's Matt Duncan. You talked about him off the top, Garrett. Matt Duncan can make so much happen, as can Foley, and now there's a stick broken as the head falls off, and the English defender can't make a play on it as a result. He'll get off to the bench. That was Tom Bracegirdle, and it's in! Ireland takes advantage of a defender without their weapon, and now they'll go up 2-0.
And just great play, a great play there by the Irish attack. They had Foley off the loose ball all alone. You can see him, he's starting to wave his stick if you would rewind a little bit, but he was waving his stick out on the crease, and then he puts it to the other side for Cale Greyhan to bury. Tough start for Brindle.
Yeah, that is a real unfortunate bounce for the English netminder, but credit to Greyhan as well. Sometimes guys, when they don't see where the ball is, they'll just continue their stroll and wind up walking through the crease. Had Greyhan just walked in a straight line, that goal is waved off, but because he just continued his jaunt around the perimeter of the crease, that's why it ends up being allowed, and now England in a bit of a hole early on. How the turntables. Couple of minutes into this game. Nice flip through, tuck and shoot, scores! A crease dive, and that'll float over the shoulder of Shanahan, and there's the answer back from England.
That's Jack Bucknell coming in hot, getting that one past Shanahan, and a lot of times you can really tell a team's success rate or the depth at which that they can compete, and that comes in how you respond to getting that first punch in the mouth. England throwing a jab right there, getting their first goal on the board in style.
And look, every team wants that extra day of rest if you can get it. Of course, the temperatures starting to drop down a little bit today. There's some storm clouds appearing above us, but all of these athletes battered and bruised and have been battling through this temperature all week long, and they're going to need to continue to do so. So if they can get a little bit of time off, that is going to benefit them greatly. A couple of nice toe drags. Arms of the officials will stay down on a healthy slash. Now just 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock. England want to fire, and that goes off the crossbar, and just now winds up on top. I don't think I've seen a ball end up there the entire time we've been here, Garrett.
I've seen a couple, but I haven't seen it actually happen. But I've seen them just hanging out there.
Now England on the reset. Trying to get it across the floor to the righties. England really pressing out, or check that, Ireland pressing out defensively, making sure to keep the English, and a backhand shot that winds up in favor of Shanahan, and a crease violation gives Ireland possession.
Good look there for Zach Ginak and the English attack trying to equalize, but that time put away by Shanahan.
Should say as well about Ginak. Had to have a phone call with him earlier today. We've heard a couple of different pronunciations of his last name, and finally Garrett just decided, you know what, I've got his number. Why don't I just ask him? And now we know it is Zach Ginak. I remember him playing in the Founders Cup a few years ago. Here's a chance and a great stop in tight. What a save by Jacob Brindle. An early on denial by the English goaltender. I'm sure backup netminder Cam McLeod will give him a pat on the back once we get to our hydration break. Roper had that labeled into the top right corner, but caught a piece of Shanahan's shoulder.
Heavy shot by him, was trying to put it on a frozen Roper to the top corner, and that time a great save there by Shanahan.
And Roper's done a pretty good job early on here in reverse transition, not allowing Ireland any opportunities in a fast break. But they do a lot of their work. Settled 5-on-5. What a hit. Absolutely laying out his man, and another collision. 2 for 1. Tom Bracegirdle, have yourself a day.
Tom Roche and Corbett are going at it. This is going to get fun, huh?
Unbelievable stuff early on for England, and the defender's going to stay out, draw the matchup of Connor Foley. Hard to miss him with the bright head on the end of his stick. Now Duncan back across to an open man and a spinning shot while getting wrestled down. A good take there by Patrick Brosnan. Up the floor, here goes England. Numbers if they hurry, a 3-on-2 starting to form, scores! tie game and a transition goal for the English.
What a shot there by Jack Robinson in transition. Had the two players on the other side looking for support and just kind of looks him off and stings that to the near side corner past Shanahan. What a snipe.
You can see Shanahan, he's starting to lean over for the pass and gets underneath of his glove. And the answer back from England is exactly what they needed. Next whistle, barring it being a penalty called, will bring us to our first hydration break of this game. But these two teams look like they want to go to war for a full 60 minutes, and why wouldn't you with the world at home watching? Ball stays in the corner before Ireland can collect. That was a pretty lengthy loose ball off the face-off battle.
I think both teams just want to set the tone, send a few more shoulders into chests, and really let them know, hey, I'm here right with you. Like you said, going to war for full 60, and it starts here.
Now Foley has a little bit of room, but good defensive recovery. Now he'll flip to the outside. Looking to Duncan, had his hands tied up. It's batted free. Spinning through a bit of a double team. Brace girdle. Now we'll switch hands, and Ireland will take it back. What an effort that was between the combination of Duncan and Grahan. That's why you never give up on the forecheck. Duncan exhausted, and rightfully so, will head off. He'll be replaced by Patrick Quinn. Grahan, check that, it's Brosnan. Across Foley, he's working now with Quinn. Can't get around his man. He's got 6 seconds to shoot, and that will go off the shoulder, and on the rebound, it's put home. Ireland back in front by 1.
Seamus Shanahan finds himself in the exact right place as that shot just got tipped off the shoulder of Brindle, off the back wall, straight to Shanahan. They'll tell you that play was exactly as dialed as he gets just on the inside of Brace Girdle, and what an incredible finish. You can see the dismay in Brace Girdle's body language as he let his man go. And you can't have that happen if you're going to win this one.
Almost like an alley-oop. I'm getting flashbacks to the movie Semi-Pro when they see it for the first time and the ref just starts blowing his whistle. Foul. No, 2 fouls. You can't do that. But it benefits Ireland to go up 3-2. Still no hydration break just yet. And now England once again needs an answer, but they've been able to answer the call every time the phone has rang. Trailer coming in. Bucknell will flip up top. Now the lefties will do a bit of work. Shot through traffic. Shanahan lost sight of the rebound, and a similar looking play to the last Ireland goal. Shanahan had no idea where that rebound was.
Ireland wanting to match an alley-oop play of their own, that time not able to match it.
Matt Duncan, we've already seen some of his hands in the early goings of this one. 7:40 left in the opening quarter. Foley on his toes, draws the double team, dish to the outside, and another nice save by Brindle. Rebound falls the way of the Irish. Remember, no Brian Gillis in this game for Ireland without their captain for their final game of pool play. Short side rip off the glove of Brindle. Big rebound back towards center floor. Duncan gets underneath the pressure from Rollins. He'll shoot on the run and put that just wide, but waiting near center is Patrick Corbett.
Great seal there by Brosnan to get the hands free and get that shot off. Unfortunately for them, just going wide.
Corbett slips through and Brindle makes another save. England under fire right now. That's the 3rd reset for Ireland.
They get a couple offensive substitutions here, looking to batter down the defense.
Freshest set of legs right now come from Patrick Quinn, and he's trying to clear the space for Foley. Now through the middle, Corbett scores!
That one just sneaking past Brindle. Patrick Corbett, the assistant captain, gets his first of the day off of the double reset. Like I mentioned, just trying to wear down this English defense, as Ireland had said in the beginning, or in the pregame, excuse me, that they were looking to start fast and know that they're aggressive early. If they feel like they can come out on top of that, they feel like they've got a really good shot, and up to right now.
Hey, credit to the officials. That was in the net for, a split second before it bounced right back out. The low referee saw that the entire way. Remember, we still have not gotten to our hydration break, and we're approaching the part of this game where we would typically go to a media break. So these guys have been playing for quite a while, and the officials letting them play on. No penalties to be called just yet. How about we keep it that way, huh? Let's let these guys do battle all game long. Now the lefties. A drive downhill with room. Shanahan makes the save quickly into his stick and ready for a breakout pass. Now Daniel Clark. 3 points so far through Ireland's 2 previous games. Remember, both these teams had yesterday off. Have had some time to recover and heal up. Foley gets the screen from Quinn. Brosnan can't spin his way through. Great defense here by the England captain, and another big save, but a better reset for Ireland. They've had the upper hand in that category so far.
That typically doesn't bode well for a team in the, I call it the grit battle.
Foley gets another good screen set, shot through, handled well. And there's another broken stick down on the turf right now. That's the second time that an English defender has had some damages to their own stick. Now we're approaching 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Still no breaks yet. And England now down by 2 after a pair of Ireland goals. Bucknell gets it back from the high point, shooting to the short side. That goes off the boards. And now finally we'll get a breather. And once we come back as well, or once we get back to the action, there's going to be another break coming up shortly thereafter. This is just the hydration break, which is supposed to come at the first whistle, not including a penalty being called under 10 minutes. So finally these guys are going to get a chance to get some water and reset themselves a little bit. But we are seeing quite the goaltending battle. Right now the upper hand falls, I would say, in favor of Ireland, not just because of the score, but think about how many times we talked about their resets in the offensive zone and really just hemming England in, giving them a tough time on their outs time after time again. So you get a look at some of the goals that we've seen so far through the opening 12 or so minutes. And Brindle, I mean, he's had a couple of ones similar to that, Garrett, where they've just crossed over the line. There's the Cale Grahand one that you saw a moment ago. That was maybe one of the prettiest goals that we've seen this game, coming from Jack Bucknell, as he is able to just outreach a stretching Shanahan.
Absolutely, and I think for Brindle and, you know, continuing to keep his confidence in net, they are incredibly confident in him, starting him in this game against one of their rival teams and nations, a team and people that they know very well. So they want to keep his confidence and his momentum up, and I know that those ones that just kind of trickle off, or you get an unfortunate rebound against the English defense like you saw, and the way that Bracegirdle, his body language just folded after that one. So they're going to look to keep boosting him up. They've got a lot of belief in him. He's a great goaltender, so let's see how they respond coming out of the hydration break. And
the big number on this graphic, circle it, the bottom right, 11 ground balls to 4 for England. That's right, Garrett. Get the thick dry erase marker out so we can cover it on the screen. And it will be Ireland possession. Remember now, the next whistle coming that's not a penalty called or a goal will be the media timeout. And by the looks of things, the officials want to keep things rolling here. Okay, and now we get the... Okay, so it's a little bit of a delayed call, but we will indeed go to our media break. It's going to be Ireland possession when we come back, leading 4-2 over England. Back with more when we return.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
Get a look at the goal leaders in this game right now. Caleb Grahan with 2, Connor Foley with 1, Jack Bucknell with 1 for England. And right now the scoring summary in total just explains a little more why they call lacrosse a game of runs. 3 straight for Ireland to kick things off, including back-to-back from Caleb Grahan. Then 2 in a row to end the run for England, followed by the last 2 straight here for Ireland, which is how they found themselves. Actually, they have 1 extra goal on the board, or on the stat sheet right now for Ireland. Just wondering why it was calling 3 in a row. So it was actually 2 in a row, 2 in a row, 2 in a row. And that's how we got ourselves to this 4-2 game. And it'll be another reset for Ireland. That's been the story so far. Tino Farah,
Garrett
Gosshorn here at EBLC 2026. Make sure you follow along on social media as well. EBLC 2026. Keep up with all the game summaries at the end of every day, and you're going to want to keep your eye onto the social medias as well as we get through towards the end of the pool stage. This is the last day of that stage for the men, but the women continue on here for a couple more days, and England will face off against Ireland in the women's division after this one. You can catch that with me and Garrett on the call once more. Roper, a nice flip through, but a better save by Shanahan with the glove.
So you would like to see a little bit more of an offensive possession with some more motion, maybe trying to feed that into the inside for England after what's been a very dominant ball possession game for Ireland, and those loose ball battles, the rebounds all coming up for Ireland.
Righty strong now as the pass through to Brosnan didn't work out. Looked like he stepped through the crease. He did, and as he was next to pick up the ball, that'll give possession back to England. Little fiery there in front of the England bench. It looked like it was Brosnan mixing it up with Tom Whitehead as they go in separate directions. England now, they need a response. A sidearm bouncer and an athletic save for Shanahan. He went down to the splits, but still got it with his shoulder.
Oliver Alsop trying to rip that one past Shanahan to get his 3rd goal of the tournament. He's got 2 in this tournament, 4 assists, so looking for more.
To the corner, it's Foley working again with Quinn. Flip was towards him, but he couldn't knock it down. Now into the corner. England starting to swarm. There's a man open. They shoot, and that caught the shoulder of Brindle. May have caught him in the mask.
Matt Duncan getting the call from the bench. You've got time. They want to get their pieces in play where they want them.
Another new 30. Foley always ready to shoot. This time, though, he'll sail that out of play. And the officials have different calls right here. One saying it deflected off of an England stick, and that is going to be the call.
Brindle was shaking his head. All of the Irish attack had ran off the floor. I think that could be the case, but the call stays with Ireland.
Well, you got some tired defenders out there right now. They've got 2 minutes and 11 seconds left of this quarter to get through. That will be an England block. Oh, but a tough loose ball to pick up. Otherwise, they may have had slow numbers into the offensive zone. Hallam will turn it over. It's been all Ireland all the time so far this afternoon.
Just want to give a quick shout out there for Brosnan. He has been sneakily incredible on the forecheck in this game.
Another righty strong set for Ireland. Another slip pick for Corbett. They scored on a similar looking play before. Duncan wants the dunk, and he scores!
Are you kidding me? Brindle, the pose that he made could not get anything to be stopped for Duncan. Matt Duncan, he, like I mentioned, was a player to watch coming into this one, and he gets his first of the day in style. Wow.
Take a look at where he puts that home. I mean, that's the dunk that you see from guys like Marcus Claridge in the NLL, guys like Josh Byrne. You know, of course, the more typical, I struggle to say the easier version of it, but the more typical that you'll see from behind is just trying to tuck it in to the nearest corner you can find. But Duncan goes over the goalie and under his arm. It's that vertical jump that allows him to do so, and England now need an answer more than ever. Roper to the short side, he scores!
What a timely goal for Tom Roper, his third of the tournament, first of the day. Again, as we mentioned, it's not about, always punching first. It's about how you respond. And thus far, although it's been all Ireland, England's staying upright. They're not phased. They know they've got to just stick to the plan. They know what they had to fix, and so far looking good despite the 2-goal disadvantage.
There was about enough room for a lacrosse ball to go into that high corner, and that is exactly where Roper put it. Now a great strip check knocked the ball loose. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication as Shanahan came out of his crease, and that almost trickled into his own goal.
That would have been probably the most disastrous goal I would have witnessed this tournament. Luckily for the Irish, they stay out of the not top 10 on that one.
Call it the luck of the Irish. Here's Duncan, fresh off of that highlight reel goal. He's going to float through the middle, but here comes Foley with a shot. Big rebound off the stick of Brindle. Ireland gets another reset. How many times have we said that so far in this game, and now there's just 30 seconds remaining. There is about a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. Remember, both teams have a first half timeout. Duncan, quick shot, goes wide off the corner boards. Tough one to knock down. Duncan looking for a late one here. Quinn, 5 seconds to shoot. Foley will rip. Another big rebound. Ireland will collect. 8 seconds. They've got to go to the net here if they want to make something happen. And another great glove save from distance, and that is going to do it. What a start we've got here between England and Ireland, but it's the English trailing by 2 heading into the second quarter. We're going to bring you all the action when we return for the start of Q2, and you can catch it right here for free on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, folks. Back with more when we return. Back to LCC Radotín, and if you've missed any of the first quarter between England and Ireland, man, have you ever missed a lot. It's Tino Ferretz, Garrett Gosshorn here at EBLC 2026. In Ireland, Garrett, they're up 2 goals. How did they get to this point?
It's been all loose balls and all rebounds for the Irish. Now, what is impressive about the English is they've really maximized their scoring chances. It has felt like the possession game has been dominated by Ireland. They're extremely patient. They let the shot clock go close to the full 30, or if they don't, they're quick to the loose balls. And so even though England is not playing, I would say, as fundamentally sound, they are still keeping pretty close pace with the score tallies. So that's a little bit of how we got there, and we'll see how that envelops as the rest of this story continues.
Michael Blameyers has 2 assists in this game. He's actually one of 3 players for England that are averaging 10-plus points per game. Zach Janak and Jack Bucknell joining him in that category, but maybe a bit of a tough back over call that'll give possession to Ireland and a chance to continue to flex those offensive muscles. Foley wanted it as he slipped through. Quinn decides to get it over to the far side of the floor. Grosnan hammers one on goal, and there's a save from distance by Jacob Brindle. Now they've got to find a way to get over center. They do. A little less forechecking pressure from Ireland. That helped bring them so much success in the first quarter. But how will England now adjust after a quick breather? Skip to the near wall. Shot off of the defender's head. Oh, rebound, and it's picked off by Shanahan with a man right on his crease.
Ben Buchanan almost with a dangerous rebound himself, not able to keep it in his stick for a good shot, but that would have been quite dangerous against the Irish defense.
Kopinger. So he'll start to move some bodies through the middle of the floor. And Grossin, and Matt Duncan will spin, tries to get through a double team. That goes high into the air, and it's batted free. A good start defensively speaking for England compared to the first quarter.
Absolutely. Maybe just waking up a little bit, shaking off the rust and the heat from the last few days, finding their sea legs, and now on the attack.
Oliver Alsop, and another acrobatic save for Shanahan. That's the third or fourth time we've seen him do the splits. And here comes Ireland. They had Clark up in the play, but Bean will decide to slow down and let the offense, who have been really firing here so far, get settled. Quinn finds a cutter. Backhand shot goes wide. Corbett. And did that go out of play?
They're saying it hit the net, yeah.
Okay, thank you. The stick can see what my eyes can't. Well, Garrett can see what I can't as well.
Trying, anyways.
Janak starts off the offense. He's another one of those guys. Oh, Shanahan able to take away that pass behind the goal. Haven't seen Janak shoot the ball all too much yet in this game, and England are going to need him to start to do so if they're going to have success against Ireland.
He's coming in with 6 goals and 5 assists, a pretty lethal player for the English attack.
Stepping into that, and it'll be a left pad stop, another one for Brindle. Seamus Shanahan with a rip from distance. Now it's a chance the other way for England with numbers off the bench, but denied by Shanahan right at point-blank range. Prescott, and then Shanahan fired it up. He'll just play a bit of catch with his opposing netminder.
It's a good transition look there by Tom Bracegirdle. I would have maybe liked to just see him look off Prescott and take that shot himself.
Now Alsop breaks free of a bit of pressure. There's a late slide there, but England unable to take advantage. Alsop, and can't beat 5-hole. Oh, the rebound was there in the crease. Remember, World Lacrosse rules, a ball loose in the crease is a live ball. You can still pick that up. And then Ireland gonna get called on a loose ball push, giving England a rare reset.
Luke Maloney with a mental mistake there, just continued to throw Janak into the boards well after the loose ball evaded him.
Here is Janak, and his pass goes off the stick of his target. And this has been the difference, really. You see England get a reset there, but then they wind up just giving it away off of a tough pass.
A quiet first 5 or so minutes of this second quarter.
I think that's to be expected as well. This is both a short and a long tournament, so guys getting more and more tired as this tournament goes on. That shot took a deflection. Had Brindle standing up on his toes, but it winds up in the corner. England done a good job clearing their zone so far. Robinson. He'll stop up. Jack Robinson evades a check. Adamson now retreating into the defensive zone. This is Janak. Across the floor, Bucknell, one more passes. He'll drive through to the middle off ball. Now Alsop working with Janak. He's going to drop his shoulder. England looking 5-hole on Shanahan. Maybe a few too many times. The goaltender seeing the ball well. Smith looks to the bench. First man he sees will be Luke Kopinger. Hard swing. This is Foley. Little bit of room. He'll engage the contact, and Brindle with another left pad save. Here's Duncan off the rebound. A good toe drag, and Brindle kept the stick down that time. And with that whistle under 10 minutes, the teams will get a hydration break And now, Garrett, we're seeing a good pushback to start off this quarter for England. They have not been able to beat Shanahan yet, but maybe time to start to switch up the shot selection here, maybe a little more east to west movement. It seems like they are getting it from one side to the other, but it's typically a downhill shot, and it's typically right into his stick as they try to go 5-hole.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he's just seeing it really well, but I do like they're playing a little bit more soundly on the defensive end. The transition opportunities, they're eliminating those from Ireland as well. So I think both teams have sort of maybe equalized to the play that they were wanting to come out of the gates with. Obviously, Ireland is going to hope to continue the scoring pace. That would put them on to 20 goals in the game if they were able to match the first quarter example. But right now, both teams just really going toe-to-toe, duking it out, punch for punch. I'm loving the second quarter. I know a lot of people are goal-scoring purists, but I do believe there's something to be said about what we're witnessing right now and how evenly matched. You can feel the tension. You could cut it with a knife from near, far, and everywhere, maybe even after the replay concedes. But, you know, that's kind of where we're at as we're about to come back from that hydration break.
Let's get a look at some of the English fans cheering their teams on from afar. And, I mean, hey, I'm right with you. I would take a one-goal game over a blowout, and both these teams have been a part of each of those. We talked about it before. Each team taking down the Netherlands. England beating them on Friday in their first game of the tournament, 22-5. Ireland beating them on Saturday, 17-5, and then both teams falling in overtime to Finland. But we're back ready to go here. You'll oftentimes see a lot of groups run a set play out of a media break, but this time England having to start from their own zone, and they just want to get it up into the offense as quick as possible. Alsop took his eye off the ball. That's not going to work out if England is going to try to tie this game or at least get within one.
You did miss while you were looking down. Tom Roper started with the ball. Daniel Clark in hot pursuit, deep forecheck, and he turned and burned him.
Crossan stops up, pass through, dunk in, denied. Rebound was overran. That's a lucky break for England, and they're going to turn and burn up the floor. It was Janak stuck on defense, now up to the offensive side, and Shanahan with a left arm stop.
Great handles there for Janak.
Now there's a man in front. Nice move. Corbett! 5-hole, and he's laid out after the whistle. But Ireland are going to be back up by 3, and we'll see if there's any penalties here as a result of that.
Looks like waiting to see if the referees. No, they will not. What a beautiful finish there by Corbett. The reverse transition opportunity after the Janak attempt. And Corbett, although he did get laid out pretty well after the shot, does not mind too much as he re-extends the lead back up to 3 for the Irish. His second of the day. The first multi-goal scorer from either team.
That's a big one. He takes that extra step and it forces his defender into a bit of transition. That's the hard thing about when you're trailing backwards as a defender. You're just trying to catch up to the guy, but if that pass is good and he has that moment to take the step, you're all of a sudden out of position. And now here comes England with Bucknell in the corner. Roper was tied up for a moment. Again, the English forward just took their eye off the ball. That was Ben Buchanan, able to recover, but then it goes up into play, or into the Raptors, excuse me. That's going to be a souvenir for a lucky fan in row 2. Clark will wait for some help. Connor Foley with 1 goal so far in this one. Don't be surprised if you hear his name a few more times. It's Grahan. Bobbled that, big pressure on him. Foley now digging for it. Grahan with a backhander. Oh, he tried to catch the goaltender by surprise, but a big save keeps England within 3.
And Foley took a huge shot there from Tatton.
Now backing into the defensive zone go the Irish. Alsop has it, he's got some room. Now dish across, big windup. Bucknell shoots, denied, rebound, and almost goes back into the goal off an English body.
That would be the 2 attackers you would expect from the English to maybe bury this goal to re-tighten the lead back to 2.
Corbett draws a matchup. He'll get it across the floor. Rawson is dispossessed. Here comes England. Their defensive play in this quarter has been so much better compared to what we saw in the first. And now you're looking, I mean, shout out to our production crew. Now we've been a while without a whistle, over a minute without the officials blowing anything down, and we'll see how long this goes on for, because England now looking to get within 2 once again. Drop pass, here comes Ireland with a couple bodies leaking up the floor. Clark will stop up and let the offense make their way on.
Again, I'm just loving this battle, toe-to-toe, punch for punch. Both teams just playing outstanding right now.
Foley to Duncan, back to Foley with room off a body. Didn't make its way on goal, so there won't be a back over call, but Ireland's going to have to be quick if they want to get anything on. And there's an injured English defender. Remember, that shot was blocked, and I think that hit him up high.
I do believe that might be, I think it was Albert Lee Whitehead is the one that had taken that defensive shot. I didn't see him go down right away, so, you know, as the ball got to relative safety, you know, he feels a little bit safer to take a moment for himself and gets the trainers out there. And you see hands moving, you see legs moving, so that's great. Watch that in the replay, right to the face mask, and you do see him readjust. And look at this smile from Albie Lee Whitehead. If you have not had the pleasure to meet him off the floor, he's a huge proponent of English lacrosse, and you know, he's very pretty face, so unfortunately took that shot right to the helmet, and you know, we hope he's all right, but you know, a big smile there by him, so should see him back in the game here soon. And I do want to shout him out as well. His role has expanded year by year and tournament by tournament for England, and I've just been so impressed by his game. I got to tell him after his last one, and just looking to see him all right.
And wearing an A on his jersey now. Should also shout out all the trainers and medical staff here at the tournament. Of course, I mean, you're not going to get through a game without us talking about the weather conditions here, the heat, and all the trainers, all the staff here, the volunteers at the tournament, quick to get the cold towels out for all the players every time they get to the benches, and as well to get any medical treatments that may be needed. Now we're going to get a penalty called against England, and this is going to be the first power play all game long, and it's coming with a little over 6 minutes left in the half.
It's Jude Kromenhoek who had found himself on the penalized end, or you know, just the mental mistake end many times versus Finland. So you know, he kind of puts his head to the sky hoping to correct that, and has done well thus far, but ends up giving that first power play of the game to the Irish.
Ireland need to get their special teams going, specifically their power play. They're 1 for 13 through their previous 2 games. They're originally going to work it around the perimeter. Foley will shoot off the outside of the glove, and the power play can get settled once again with a new 30. Duncan, as Corbett makes his way to the point, he'll quarterback here off of the cycle, just decides to shoot, and Brindle saw that the entire way through.
He did, and speaking of the devil, there's Albie Lee Whitehead back out on the floor for England, so a quick turnaround for him. And as you mentioned, the training and medical staff, not only have they well earned their potential, or their credentials and their pay, they've done such an incredible job keeping our athletes safe this week.
How in the world does Whitehead take a shot off the face and not even miss a shift?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Shanahan makes the save. Ireland's got to get this ball. They will, with a little bit of pressure, and they've got less than a minute left on this power play to try to make something happen.
It's a dangerous look with Bracegirdle there. Bracegirdle is so good at stripping the ball and causing turnovers, and Stahl was slow to pick that one up off the rebound.
That would have been a big morale booster for England, but instead he's back out for some more penalty-killing duties. Corbett over to Duncan, or check that, it was Brosnan, and now he slashes at an English stick to get the ball loose again. 30 seconds left on this power play. Ireland have had possession for probably 3/4 of it, but nothing overly dangerous. Corbett to Duncan, fake pass, Corbett again at the point. He and Duncan play catch. Now Quinn couldn't handle it. It's into the air, and England will take it away. They can kill the remainder of this penalty if they so choose.
Bracegirdle gets yard sailed. If anyone needs a new stick, meet us at the midline, and he breaks it right after, too. He's playing with the equipment faulty, and that'll put him in the box as Kromenhoek comes out.
Just a mental mistake, and he's shaking his head as he makes his way to the box. But, I mean, that's as easy of a call as the refs are going to get.
We're going to head to a media timeout here in just a second, I believe, but
I don't believe so because the penalty is being called. And did I see correctly? There are 2 English players in the box. Now, that's right, because there's still 1 second left on the original checking from behind call. So not really going to be a 5-on-3. But regardless, it'll be the second power play for Ireland once that original penalized player comes out of the box. And they got to be careful of that trailing defender now. He's actually just going to go straight across to the bench, and Ireland's got to be aware of this. Deflected pass. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Has been a while since we've seen a goal scored. Corbett's going to step into one. Another big save and an even bigger rebound, and it'll be collected by the quarterback, Patrick Corbett, on hat-trick watch for Ireland.
That was the same exact shot he had taken just a minute prior. Brindle finding both easily.
Corbett, does he want another one? Foley does, and that goes off the dasher and out of play. Now we will go to our media break. England just continuing to try to survive these penalties, and we'll bring you the remainder of their penalty kill when we return. There's a look at the offensive gate for Ireland. Everybody surrounding the whiteboard because they've got 1 minute and 25 left on this second straight power play, Garrett, to try to get their scoring ways under their belt again. Yes, Ireland leading 6-3, but we have been on for quite some time without a goal being scored.
Yeah, and you talked about a morale booster, a momentum shift for the English. Back-to-back penalty kills would do it in place of a goal being scored. And certainly if they could get a shorthanded one here, you can see Daniel Clark versus Tom Roper, the rematch, and Roper shakes him off cleanly once again. That time not burning him, but just shaking away from the pressure.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
And Alsop will work a little bit with Janak, who just fakes the screen and floats through the middle. Pass doesn't come. Alsop has it again. He'll spin underneath. Keane tried to stay with him. Alsop looking to the short side. Big bounce. It's going to go to center floor, and that will eventually bounce into the Irish bench. They've got 60 seconds left on this power play and a little over 3 minutes left until halftime.
Again, just so impressed with both these teams' second quarters. Just loving this back and forth action.
Duncan is going to work from the crease. Corbett remaining at the point. He'll get it again. Gets to his wrong side, fakes the shot. I think he was trying to pass behind the goal to Duncan, but a better defensive stick knocked that free.
That he was, and you got to feel real good as the penalty kill unit thus far for England with Bracegirdle, one of your premier defenders in the box. And that penalty was kind of silly, but I think he just didn't realize the head had popped off.
Alsop gets that across the floor, now back to the near side, and a chance to make a move for Prescott. Can't get through the pressing defenders. There's the late look and a big rebound off Shanahan, and he charges out of his crease. That's a massive loose ball. Had it been picked up cleanly, but Alsop has it fall out of his stick.
Bucknell slow to get up off the turf. Maybe something to note if he does not look like his former self, and Bracegirdle comes out of the box with a nice new stick.
So now Ireland 1 for 15 on the power play throughout the entirety of this championship.
Oof.
Corbett's going to drive, and he's going to score. The stalemate is broken. Corbett goes across the crease.
So not only is Corbett the only multi-goal scorer in this game, he's got himself a hat trick with 2 in the quarter himself. And, if you're 0 for 2 in the power play thus far, it's pretty worth it to get one right after anyway, so it doesn't quite show up in the stat sheet. But Patrick Corbett going to be pretty happy extending the lead to 4 for the Irish.
Sometimes as a defensive unit, while I mean, yes, you kill the penalty, but sometimes you're just a little bit out of sorts when you've been defending, essentially for the last 4 straight minutes, killing off the penalty, and now you have your 5th defender out. Can be a little bit tough to find your footing, and now they look for a transition chance, and what a save by Shanahan!
Speaking of one of the stories of the game, England responding really well to the punches being thrown. That time Shanahan says, not this time.
Does a bit of a snow angel, sort of a hybrid between that and stacking the pads. Either way, it's a save all the same. Now Foley on the roller. Quinn could not beat Brindle. England will pick it up. You can hear they want to run. They got a man leaking off the bench. The pass was over to Bucknell, and now a bouncing shot that winds up out of play, and good call, Garrett. It does go off of Shanahan, so England will keep possession.
He was arguing that it didn't, but I thought pretty obviously off the arm. England remains on the attack.
Buchanan, 65 seconds left in regulation, and another one where they try 5-hole. Shanahan able to keep his stick down.
He's just been unreal from that spot. So again, as you mentioned earlier, kind of coming out of the first quarter break, they should look to get him moving east-west and try some new spots.
Wouldn't mind seeing England start to shoot more so towards the hips. He's such a large goaltender, so those top corners are tough unless you're able to get in tight. And his 5-hole is closed up tight. It's Foley denied by Brindle. 35 seconds left in the half. A chance for England to run again with numbers. A 3-on-2 forming, and they're going to call timeout. They will burn their first half timeout, and why not at this point? 5 seconds separating the game and shot clock, and they'll have enough time to drop a play, but I don't know if it's going to be enough time to really pull their goaltender. 5 seconds is still quite a bit of time to launch it down the floor, as we saw a couple of days ago when Portugal's netminder Sean Medeiros fired at the length of the floor in the, I believe, only goalie goal we've seen so far at the championship.
I believe so, and what a place to have it in your debut tournament, the European Box Lacrosse Championships. Medeiros, a very spirited player and a great netminder, and he's got the only goalie goal. So we'll look to see if Brindle gets pulled for the English attack. I don't believe so. He's not making his way towards the bench as of yet. You can still see him on the floor. It might be worth considering how fast he can run in those pads. I mean, he's got such a big body. He's a huge guy, and might have long strides, but as I'm one to demonstrate, long strides don't always equal speed. So they feel that way. Maybe Brindle and I sharing that attribute, and he will walk his way and saunter back to the net for the final 29 seconds of the first half.
One more reminder before the half: follow along at EBLC 2026 on Instagram. We got 30 seconds left in this first half to get through. He's starting to fake as if he's going to the bench, but he will retreat back to the crease, so 5-on-5 will resume. 17 on the shot clock. England trying to run a set here. They're looking for motion on the near wall. Buchanan down to the corner. Janak, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Alsop will retreat back to the bench now. Got to get something on goal. Janak fires one late in the clock from way outside, and Ireland will take possession, and they are not going to use their first half timeout. So they don't use it, which means they just lose it. It will not carry over. Garrett, thoughts through 30 minutes of action?
I mean, that initial start by Ireland has proved the difference thus far. Again, England playing well, Shanahan playing out of his freaking mind, but no discredit to the Irish defense. They are also playing just so well, and it just seems like things are flowing, things are clicking, passes are finding their targets for the Irish just better than England, but that doesn't mean that that's going to stay the course. I know so many great teams don't typically change anything at the half in a way that they know they can just trust the process and let good things come. And so we'll look to see whether or not there are major adjustments by England. Ireland obviously going to have to respond to whatever England throws their way in the second half.
England has not scored since Tom Roper found the back of the net with just a couple of minutes left in the first quarter, but Ireland with just 2 in that second quarter as well. Both teams will make some adjustments at the halftime break. He is Garrett Goshorn. I'm Tino Farah. We'll bring you the entirety of this second half when we return at EBLC 2026. 30 minutes in the books, 30 minutes coming up next between Ireland and England. It's the final day of pool play of the men's division in EBLC 2026. And this is a first half that is very much so favored Ireland. But let's take a look at these goaltending numbers so far, because we're seeing quite the duel. Devlin Shanahan hasn't been as busy. His numbers overall moderately better at an .860 save percentage. Jacob Brindle, especially in the second half of that second quarter, Garrett, he was unbelievable, and so far with a .770 save percentage.
Absolutely, and that's kind of what I mentioned early in the first quarter, that they just have a lot of trust in him. A couple of those goals being maybe a bit unlucky per se. I mean, that is just sports and lacrosse, but you know, they have so much belief in him, and you saw absolutely why in that second quarter.
Right now, Patrick Corbett leads all Irish forwards with 4 points, a hat trick and an assist under his belt. From the English side of things, Michael Blaemeyers is the only player with multiple points, and they're both assists. Otherwise, England needs to start to get up on their horse and show their offensive firepower. Remember, these guys are the defending champs from 2022. It's time for them to start to show why here against Ireland. They'll get the first possession. Stumbling there, though, for a moment. That is Blaemeyers, and a good strip check, and Shanahan will do the rest.
Yeah, he's a great player. on the doorstep, just losing that one through too much pressure. The Brampton Excelsior product, and he's looking to make a bigger impact in the second half.
And the pressure is a good point. You know that somebody like him, he's one of the leaders with 10 points through 2 games. The pressure he must be feeling right now as Foley goes down hard. Looked like he stumbled, but then he gets up on his own and he scores. Hammered afterwards, but what an individual effort.
My goodness, Connor Foley's second goal of the game is an absolute beauty, and I love his play so much, whether it's him battling Mother Nature, the goalies, 5 men on the defensive side of the floor, it does not matter. Connor Foley is inevitable, and he buries that one past Brindle, wow, and takes the shot after from Rollins.
You almost got to wonder at this point, was the stumble intentional? Was he goading the defender into stepping off for a moment? I don't think so.
No, that's like the hammy route that
yeah,
we've seen from the NFL training camps or the spring camps, whatever they are. Something like that, I don't know so much, but might be worth adding to the repertoire.
We're going to have to ask him about that later on. Remember, stick around after the game. Garrett Gosburn is going to wrangle someone together for an interview. Matt Duncan, he'll fall under his own feet. That's a few times already in this quarter that we've seen a couple of guys fall.
Yeah, it's back to back to back. 1 for the English, 2 for the Irish, so definitely something to watch. As a little bit of rain has come down thus far, we've avoided the vast majority of it, and we're going to hope to keep that continued.
Now is Janak across. Bucknell will wind, can't fire across, a low shot that's blocked. Haven't seen too many blocks from Ireland just yet, but they get a big one. Blaemeyers couldn't handle it. It's kicked all the way down the floor as Janak went down hard. He's got some words for the Ireland bench as he makes his way off as well. Ireland gets the free clear.
I don't know what kind of words you're saying down 5. Other than we're coming. Hopefully it's just that.
A storm's a brewing, and we're not talking about the weather. What a shot from distance. It got underneath of Brindle, and Patrick Quinn gets his first of the game.
What a great snipe. Again, as you said, a storm's a brewing. Ireland, they are going to strap on the rain jackets. They got the umbrellas. They say, we don't care about your English gray and rain. Keep that for yourself.
Maybe one that Brindle would want back. It looked like it caught a bit of his stick, but Ireland's run is just continuing on here as we start off this second half. Now a run of 4 straight, including before the break.
It's 2 pretty demoralizing goals getting let in there. Quick start for the Irish in the second half.
They've had the ball for almost the entirety of these opening 2.5 minutes or so. England haven't really had all too many opportunities. Foley's tripped up, no call. Grahan reaching for it, and here comes England. Robinson trying to keep Grahan in the defensive zone, and it looks like he will stay there. So England will start to get their forwards out. Corbett was also stuck defending. He's going to change. So we'll see if England wants to go it. Cale Grahan here on the defensive gate. Roper looks 5-hole, and that almost got underneath of Shanahan.
That was quite close to the line and fairly indicative of the way the luck of the English has gone thus far today.
Now Matt Duncan scored a pretty dunk in the first half. Now he'll spin around, quick pirouette, as the righties will get a touch. Quinn now with the latest Ireland goal, swings hard across. Shanahan back to Quinn, had his hands tied up in a good defensive stand for England, and now there's an Ireland penalty coming up. What a way to turn the tables this would be for England if they could score with the extra attacker or on the power play.
What a mental mistake there. I just don't know what you're going for there. Trying to slash the ball out of Brindle's stick. You're going to put your team at a disadvantage.
Blaemeyers. Janak on the toe drag around Bean. He'll shoot wide of the goal. 7 seconds left on the clock, but it's going to be a back over call against England, who will now make their way to the power play. And if they are going to turn things around in this favor, there's plenty of lacrosse left, but this feels like a chance that they have to make the most of.
Yeah, without a doubt, and just the way that Ireland has come out in the first and the third quarter, I don't know what it is about this side that the English don't seem to enjoy burying goals or stopping goals, but there is always 11 minutes and 15 seconds to right the ship, and maybe if they made any adjustments at halftime, might be time to dial those back.
The urgency is going to have to start to pick up. Oh, and there's the aggressiveness from the Ireland penalty killers. England completely asleep as they started that power play.
The captain, Costello, a nightmare waiting.
Man, oh man, you can just feel the urgency from Ireland regardless of where they are on the floor. In England, they just haven't been able to match that. And Foley now taking a few slashes. England's got to be careful not to take another penalty here as Blaemeyers gets some good whacks, got a high cross-check into the neck area of Foley, who absorbs that nicely.
I counted 7 slashes on the body of Foley, and again, such a warrior. He loves it. That is not the guy to keep pumping up his fuel tank.
Call him Johnny Cash. He's walking that line. And now the power play, they're going to be settled already in the offensive zone, which is going to be a good one for them. But they've got to play with some urgency here now. Light that fire to their feet. Blaemeyers stays out. He's going to run at the near side shooter position. They got a man parked behind the goal. It's Alsop. Now up top, Prescott. Blaemeyers winding, firing off the glove. Rebound will make its way around the boards, and Prescott can calmly pick it up near the center line.
Definitely got to light that fire, perhaps forming a ring of fire, wouldn't you say?
Oh, here we go. Prescott. Blaemeyers, no looker. Janak couldn't see it. It's up into the air, handled well, and did that make its way on goal? Looks like it did as Shanahan falls on top of it. And with that whistle, that'll bring the teams to their hydration break. And when we get back to the action, England, they're going to have 39 seconds left on this power play to make something happen. But you want to start to see them go straight at the netminder here. Stop with the perimeter stuff if you want to make something go in your favor. Right now, it's just Ireland that's playing so aggressively, and they're the ones forcing the England power play to make whatever decision. If you're a man up here, you got to be dictating the pace of play.
And I've always felt that, you know, the pulse of your bench comes in some of the celebrations around the small details, right? Like celebrating the saves, celebrating the men taking the soaked shots, right? So right there on that rebound, that was probably the best chance that they had, the English, to score on Shanahan, getting that on the inside look with the twister. But that shot, I believe, had been soaked by a defender and then hit off the face of Shanahan. So once again, the bench of Ireland, they were tapping the boards. They were celebrating those small little victories. And I think that, you know, the congruency amongst the team, like how they're gelling both offensively, defensively, in transition, and just all those little details, everything is coming up white, green, and orange.
It was just a couple of days ago when England had the lead versus Finland. They wound up getting outscored 12-6 in the second half. So far in this second half, it's just been 2-0 in favor of Ireland, but when you count it all together, it's been the last 4 straight goals for the Irish. England, though, have 39 seconds left on their power play to try to turn the tides a little bit in their favor. It will be Ireland possession to start things off, and you can see right off the bat, England pressing. They know they need this ball. They dislodge it from Clark, who knocks his man down, but now England has a chance to get up the floor and run with the extra man.
Only got 18 seconds left in the power play. Really needing this one.
Bucknell will take a little bit of time. Roper decides late that he wants to change. Took a cross check. The turf monster might have got him a little bit as well. It's Prescott running point. Got to be careful of shot selection now with the penalized player coming out of the box in a moment. 3 seconds to shoot. Somebody's got to make the decision. Prescott looked like he was trying to feed behind the goal, but they run out of time. So neither team has scored on the power play. Ireland 0 for 2, England 0 for 1. Much of this game has been played on 5-on-5. Here's Shanahan. So England right now able to play a little safety with a late change coming for the Irish. Corbett now making his way on, slips through to the middle, pass doesn't come, Grayhan has it, a good jab step, he's got a roller, he shoots, Shanahan was open, he'll corral the loose ball, and he's forced to just shovel it in deep. May have been trying to get that on goal, but regardless, possession back to England.
Yeah, you could see Brindle with such a great heads-up play. He kind of ducked away from that, making sure it doesn't deflect off of him. Timeout for England. And again, like, just trying to right the ship, course correct. You can see they are all just locked in on listening to their head coach, and I feel like something's got to get through to them. You know, as the wake-up call, down by 6, that's not the worst thing in the world with so much lacrosse to be played, but with how Ireland is playing, you have to be better than great. You have to play, I would say, as close to perfect lacrosse as you humanly can with what time is remaining to claw your way back in this one. But as we've seen through this tournament, leads are not safe.
I'm going to be very interested to see now how England comes out of this timeout. Look at all of them. And right before that, Jack Janak was on the floor, and that wasn't good enough for the coach. Hey, no, you get on the bench right now. Everybody come together here. That is enough of how we've been playing. Now let's see if they come out with that intensity. Remember, at the start of their power play a moment ago, they were kind of lackadaisical getting into the start, and as soon as the whistle went, the Ireland penalty killers immediately jumped towards the ball carrier and caused a turnover. Clearly, the England bench staff not happy with things have gone, not happy with the pace that they are playing with, and now we'll see if they can turn things around. Trailing by 6 with 8.5 minutes left in this third quarter. The pass is faked, and now there's going to be an England penalty coming up. I believe, no, excuse me, it's going to go to Ireland on a slash.
Time going against Costello, and you know, again, giving the English an opportunity as they look to right the ship. This is not the moment you want to take a penalty if you're Ireland, as England is seriously trying to gather what little they have of resources probably left in the energy tanks, and just to find the right path for them. And you know, that timeout just reminded me of that iconic Connor McDavid clip. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
I know Teddy Jenner knows that clip all too well as an Edmonton Oilers fan. Here's Prescott at the point where he usually is on this power play, working it to his shooters as it goes down to the corner now with set play. Swing hard across. Alsop will shoot through a screen, and he scores! Finally, England back onto the board.
There we go again. As I mentioned, what a costly mistake for Costello, and that goal I'm bookmarking as potentially so dangerous from downrange, beating Shanahan again, kind of just mixing up the shot selection. Through the screen, through a couple players, Shanahan not able to get a good look on it. Wow, what a goal there for Robinson.
Good luck seeing that if you're the goaltender. There is probably 3 bodies in a lane. And now England, they've got to find a way to build on this. They've never scored more than 2 goals in a row in this one. That last one finally breaks the Ireland run of 4 in a row. Now England with a late change. You could feel the energy coming from the English fans behind their bench. Roper wants to drive. He'll feed behind the goal. They wanted the dunk, but the pass just didn't work out.
I was just about to say the same thing if you didn't. It's firing me up here. I love to feel it. This arena just has great acoustics up here to the booth, and this could get interesting, Tino.
The start defensively for England was so good, but now after their offense gives them a little momentum, they need to lean on their defense for a big stop. Foley will try to change that as he'll shoot, and Brindle gets that with the left pad. No save on the play. It goes cleanly out, so maybe that's a lucky break for England, and they will take possession back, trying to make it 2 straight.
And I thought, who better than Connor Foley to have the shot take there?
Blake Myers spins away from a double team. Bucknell takes a shot up high. No call. He'll swim and keep his feet moving. Just keep swimming, says Bucknell as he checks himself out for damages, and sprawling on top of that loose ball is Devlin Shanahan. Ireland may have just gotten away with a loose ball push.
Ireland gets away with 2 on that defensive effort, I believe.
Now Smith. Pat Smith sees a lane. He fires across as he crashes right into the goaltender, and that looks like it's going to be a penalty. The refs do not like the angle he took as he makes a whole bunch of contact with Jacob Brindle. We'll take another look at it here.
Grayhan with his hand up, and again, I thought Ireland's defense got away with two, maybe a bit of instant karma there. Smith arguing the case of, kind of the push in, but very clearly runs into the leg of Brindle, and Brindle, the leaning tower of Brindle, just slowly falls onto him, and they are going to find themselves on the penalty kill once more. And if they can score on this one, Tino, how loud do you think that English bench is going to get?
Oh, they're going to be, the decibels here are going to go out. I'm sure the neighbors are going to start to call in a noise complaint pretty soon. That pass is not going to be all that good, but they do maintain possession. Janak tries to hammer it underneath of Shanahan, who got it with the left pad. Ireland pressing for that loose ball. They bat it away, but England will keep it. Oliver Alsop over to Prescott. Janak as they park someone behind the net again. Shanahan just caught a piece of it. England looking to the 7-hole, but he spins it away.
Such a good look there by the English attack.
Now Foley gets dispossessed on a good trail check. Here come the English. You can feel the energy again. Some of their fans to their feet, trying to will their team back into this game, trailing by 5 with 5.5 to play in the third quarter.
I don't know what was said in that timeout, but it has clearly worked. We're seeing a revamped and a revived English team.
Bucknell gets it back. He'll take Prescott's spot at the point. Janak can't shoot. Bucknell can off a body, and that goes high into the air. Possession back to Ireland.
Bucknell and Daniel Clark having a lot of words, presumably quite friendly.
I don't know why this is Ireland possession. That looked like it went off one of their defenders and out of play.
Shot clock. Before it hit the net.
Thank you, Garrett.
It had to take a bounce into the net, so I mean, you can only wait for it to hit the net for so long.
It's fair. No ceiling, no roof here. And Radotín as Duncan. I mean, the English defenders have been doing an unreal job all this quarter, and they once again keep Ireland without a shot and force a shot clock violation. 16 seconds of power play time for England when we return at EBLC 2026. A look at some of the fans behind the bench of Ireland. Hey,
hi,
look.
Mom.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, look at us. Oh, was
trying
that
to shout out Finland
I was
there.
going to say, showing off some swag. Finland. Did they played earlier today? They got another win, I think, over the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken. Teddy Jenner was on that call earlier on, but myself, Tino Fair, and Garrett Gosshorn on the call for this one. 9-4 is the lead for Ireland, but there is 16 seconds left of this England power play. They do start on their own side of center. They got to get it up the floor. So by the time they get settled, they're going to go with the empty net here. Interesting decision. I mean, I would not be surprised if we see Jacob Brindle quickly come back into the net. As you can see him, they're just trying to get the quick breakout up the floor as he makes his way back there now. Roper onto the bench.
As we've seen Roper with speed.
They skip through the middle on a set play. Bucknell, it's open. Shanahan! Did he get a piece of that?
What a save! Maybe the save of the tournament.
Unbelievable from Shanahan.
Holy!
And that injects some life into the Ireland bench. They kill off the penalty. My, oh my. Devlin Shanahan, what a save!
I am in disbelief at just the acrobatics, the timing. Wow, and a turnover.
Robbery. Ireland unable to save the back over call. Let's get another look at that and see if Shanahan got a piece. Out of position, he dives back. Oh my.
It might have been deflected by the defense up front. I think he should have gone for the far side. Kind of looked like he just wanted to put it near side, but wow, either way.
England stacking shifts. Pass through the middle, goes off of an English stick and out of play. You can feel England building to something greater every time they step onto their offensive side of center. Seemed like there was a little bit of confusion on the floor. It is Ireland ball. Clock running here. 3:20 left in this third quarter. Goals are tough to come by here in the second half. Brosnan floats it through. Quinn off the post. Chance now for England if they can catch up to it. Fast break chance, hard loose ball to pick up. Shanahan will step out of his crease to make the play.
Lee Whitehead not able to make that one happen, and the Irish defense with some energy of their own to match.
It's been the England fans who have been trying to cheer their team to some success. Now the Ireland bench feeling the energy throughout the venue as Foley gets wrapped up. He shoots, just missed at that far post. Duncan gets the loose ball, 3 seconds to shoot. Try to twist her, it deflects wide. England will start on their own side of center.
What an interesting play there for Foley to get his hands free. He had gotten kind of wrapped up by Tatton, and Tatton wisely pulled off from him, which allowed him to get his hands free for the shot and no penalty. And that will turn it over to the English attack.
Late change for England. Prescott comes on as the trailer across. Bucknell, toe drag, twister, stopped by Shanahan.
Couple good twisters against Shanahan, but both of them found purchase into the chest pads.
Bean starting to run. He'll drop. They had to catch up to it. It was Luke Maloney. So he's going to take his man down to the corner. Duncan back out for another tour of duty on the offensive side. Corbett. It's Coppinger. Duncan dropped it. Now he's angled off, picks it up with one hand. He's wrestled down, looked like a suplex, and will shoot just a second too late. Now a minute 42 to play in the third quarter.
Lee Whitehead taking a bunch of abuse in this one.
England would benefit greatly from a late goal to close out this frame. Janak on the toe drag. Lane opens up. Shanahan with a big left arm save. Man, Janak just can't buy one this evening. As Clark gets up in the play, he's got some help. Shot denied. Brindle with a big save at the other end. These goaltenders are putting on a show.
No kidding. Maybe Janak is saving it for the fourth quarter. Maybe some theatrics, maybe heroics. We'll see if that comes to light.
And he heard you because he's right back on. And it looks like he wants the ball in his stick, floating away from the play. Now he's got it again. Prescott sets the screen. Trailer is Roper. Bucknell, hands free. Janak has it deflect off of Smith's stick. 2 seconds to shoot. Ireland in no urgency to pick this up. They want to let the rest of the clock die down.
This quarter's been exactly as this game has advertised, as were the first two, but man, this third quarter has just been incredible.
Quinn with 30 seconds left. There's about 14 seconds separating the game and shot clock now. Another nice move by Foley, but he's forced wide. Better defense by the English. Quinn can't find a lane. He'll tuck, opens up some space. Big save made. Goaltender is still in at the other end. England has used their second half timeout, so they gotta go. Contact between the benches. Brindle to the bench for the extra attacker. 3 to shoot, firing just wide, and that's gonna do it for this third quarter. Ireland stays in front, but England right on the precipice of climbing back into this game, and those fans right there are begging for more to cheer about, and we'll bring you all that game when we return live from EBLC 2026. There's a look at the goal leaders in this game. Patrick Corbett with 3, Connor Foley with 2, Cale Grahan with 1. Fellas down in the producer's booth, I don't know if we can load back up that Shanahan maybe save. I know we just saw it a second ago, but every time we get the replay of it, I just keep getting my face closer and closer to the screen to just see what in the world that hit. Again, I mentioned a couple of days ago in terms of referee calls, you know, sometimes the close calls at the crease, you know, the refs will say if it's a nice goal, they'll make it count. Here is the maybe save by Shanahan. Shout out to the producers. Oh, did that hit the defender Bean on the corner? You can see him 55 in navy blue. He comes into your screen right there at the top. It kind of goes off his leg.
A little bit off Shanahan, maybe. Gosh, it's just so hard to see that perfectly.
Shout out to the boys in the producer's booth, man. You guys have been earning your paycheck every single broadcast. Unbelievable stuff. As we're back at it here, 9-4, England trails. But they've been building throughout the third quarter, trying to make it more. But Shanahan, outstanding game so far. That ball is down, body's thrown, late shot. That'll go wide. Also, it'll be possession Ireland regardless.
Every shift now so important in either staunching momentum or creating momentum, but you do not have much time to play perfect lacrosse here today.
Ireland want to make sure they use the clock here. Remember, it's the enemy of the English in this case, but a full quarter for them to try to climb the ladder. Corbett appears to be a little shaken up as he's got a chin strap undone on his helmet. No call. Quinn helps get the reset for Ireland. Corbett will change. Quinn to the back door. One-timer denied by Brindle. Another reset, another toe drag, but they can't get through to the middle of the floor. Brindle, I mean, talk about earning your paycheck here.
Absolutely, and also Billy Rollins on the defensive efforts there. He was all over both the man and the loose ball pickup. Just great effort by Billy Rollins. I believe he's a North Shore Indian in the Senior B Leagues in Vancouver.
Janak wants it. The pass doesn't come because Roper scores. They finally beat Devlin Shanahan at the 5-hole.
And England tacks on another multi-goal score. There's only been 3 scores in this game thus far. Alsop, Blaemeyers, Janak still off the board. Prescott, Cromanhook, like there's so many players that have yet to find purchase, but Roper buries his second of the game, beating Shanahan. We are within 4 now, Tino.
And check that, it actually went to the short side on Shanahan, so the 5-hole still isn't necessarily working. But we talked in the first half, Garrett, about maybe England trying to change up and give some variety with where they're shooting the ball, and now they're within 4 for the first time in quite some time. And Ireland appear to be on their heels a little bit. This is the forecheck from England that we haven't seen really all game long, and now they're trying to turn the tides in their favor late in this game. 2 minutes through this final quarter of regulation. Ireland can feel the English storm coming their way. This is Foley. He can really shoot. He will. Rebound! What a save by Brindle!
Brindle said, I don't think that last one went off Shanahan, but talk about a save of the tournament. I have an option and a bid for you. Wow!
Look at him sweep his stick. Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable. And there was another broken stick. These teams playing physical but clean. Only 5 penalties in the game.
And Shanahan, for the second time in this game, will intercept a pass behind the goal. Such an active stick for a goaltender. No lane is an easy one right now, even the passes behind the goal. Foley scored back in the first quarter. Working with Quinn as he does so often. Hard swing now to the lefties, but they're looking back towards the near side. Here's Foley, 2 to shoot, absorbing contact. He'll fire as the clock expired. Another good defensive stand for England. Robinson looks up. Here's Roper, 1 goal away from a hat trick. trying to will his team into a victory here in Radotín. Bucknell fakes the shot, tries to feed through the middle. Janak picks it up. Can't find a lane to the goal. They'll get it to the outside. Bucknell with a drop feed. Alsop protecting his stick, shoots it wide. Hard off the boards. Bucknell leaping to the air, and he's going to draw a penalty as he took a slash up in the neck area. And now England, they've scored a power play goal in this game, and they have a chance to get another.
And Bean, who's been so excellent on the defensive front for Ireland, just makes that little mistake, and it's going to cost them, but we'll see just how much it's going to cost as Bucknell, who wanted, I heard there was Tyler Hall as coach, shout out came from him, so let's see if that shout out can fuel them to a power play goal. They're 1 for 3 thus far. The teams today only 1 for 5, so just stout defensive efforts from both squads.
Just got a DM as well from Chris Hackle of Team Finland staff. Thanks for watching, guys. It's England looking for one, and they find it. Another one for the English, storming back into this game.
That is just timely. Michael Blaemeyers finally gets on the board. So I thought maybe Janak would be holding off for some theatrics and heroics. Blaemeyers says, hey, me first. He gets his first of the day. He's got 8 on the tournament. Playing just outstanding. Again, was so surprised to see him quiet in this game. Now, the English power play 2 for 4 could be a metric to watch.
Just listen to this place. The environment here in Radotín building with anticipation. Most of it coming from England as they're inching closer and closer to a comeback. Ireland still with the lead, though. They want to go forward. Corbett puts it wide of the goal. The loose balls lately have been favoring England. Ireland want to get back to what works so well. Oh, almost an unfriendly bounce against England as that goes off of a leg and towards the goal dangerously.
It also feels like the physicality battle is being won. The stuff that you don't see in the stat sheets by England, but a quick turnover here.
Ben Buchanan took his eye off of it. He may have to stay and defend now. He's going to try to sprint off the floor. He's got to get there quickly. Luckily for him, Ireland didn't pick up the ball all too soon. Just think back to that timeout in the third quarter by England. Not to drop a play, just to calm things down, but at the same time, get them playing with some more urgency. Foley shooting off the body. Loose ball picked up by an English defender who wants to run. This is Matthew Tatton.
The effort off the floor by the English defense, trying to get their men onto the floor, is something to note. They are playing on a different gear right now.
Janak flips to the middle, twister, scores! Oliver Alsop, and it's a 2-goal game.
Seriously, I called the people out for not having their name called just yet. Oliver Alsop gets his first of the day in dramatic fashion. The third great twister by the English attack against Shanahan finally finds the net. And when was the last time we were within 2, Tino?
It has been quite some time, and I think you're going to get a phone call tomorrow from Zach Janak, and he's going to say, it's a good thing you guys learned how to say my last name. That pass to the middle for Alsop was just as pretty as the finish, and look who's got the ball again. The England offense making their way onto the floor. 9.5 to play. It's a 2-goal game here in Radotín. Here's the goal scorer, Alsop, behind the goal. Roper gets it to the outside. Tough one to settle down. That goes well wide from Buchanan. Still 5 to shoot. They score! Roper! A hat trick! 1-goal game!
And what we saw in the beginning of this game was all rebounds going to Ireland. Now we can say the reverse. Roper with the hat trick. Are you kidding me? What are we witnessing, Tino? 1-goal game, less than 10 remaining. I was speaking with England before the game. We've got an Ireland timeout. They know, they can feel it, and they say we've got to do something about it. My goodness. Let me take a breath. Tino, take over, please.
If you want to get a feel, if you're watching from home at the environment here, you just got to take a look at the fans behind England's bench and compare them to the fans behind Ireland's bench. Ireland fans right now all sitting, heads in their hands, in their laps, looking at their phone. England, on the other hand, just before the timeout, applauding what their team has been able to do. Flags waving here in Radotín, and why wouldn't they be? Now a similar style timeout from Ireland as what we saw from England in the third quarter. You're not trying to drop any play here. You're just trying to set the tone internally for your group.
This game is exactly as advertised, maybe not the exact mechanism that we thought we'd see. Again, thinking we'd see more of a toe-to-toe battle. Thus far, it's now been just a fully one-sided game, tale of two halves. Even a tale of hydration breaks and timeouts, right? And speaking with England's team before the game, they knew, they had the feeling that this would be a one-goal game, and they have clawed their way back to that thus far today. This has just been outstanding.
And it's an interesting time for Ireland to call a timeout. If you keep your eye on the clock when it comes back onto your screen, 9:16 is the amount of time left. The next whistle, other than a penalty or a goal being scored, is going to be the hydration break and the final one of this game. So they may have just burned their timeout when they maybe didn't necessarily need to, but we'll see. You got to trust what you've got internally, and maybe all they needed is an extra chance to calm things down. It's been all England through this fourth quarter, though. Quinn is going to try to turn those tables, but he's stripped of his stick. England has it, and they've got guys going up the bench, and we've got a collision the other way. There is the whistle, and now the teams will get another break and a chance to catch their breath again, a chance to get some water, but this is going to be Ireland ball starting in the offensive zone when they do come back. So maybe now they can use this as a timeout to try to draw up a play.
Yeah, and they're going to need it. The last time it was a one-goal game, there had only been 9 minutes elapsed in the first quarter. So it has been quite some time, about just way too much time since it's been this close. And again, you can feel the excitement, you can feel the tension. Almost like you could just feel it budding, just the comeback budding for the English defense. And Shanahan has looked awfully vulnerable recently, and you wonder whether it's, hey, you got to help him out. Maybe it's, sometimes you got to tell the goalie, hey, just go stop the next one. Get off the bad streak. Just go find the next save and just keep stacking them up. As you had said moments prior, just stacking shifts. Minute by minute, time the enemy. Now, potentially for Ireland, as there's a lot of time for England to take control of the game.
It was Saturday afternoon when England was outscored 12-6 against Finland in an overtime loss. I'm sure that's going to bring some good memories back to the Finnish staff who are watching this game right now. But now, considering they had yesterday off, they've taken that time to learn from that experience, and now they're trying to apply some of that here against Ireland. Foley's shot goes off of a stick behind the goal. Now a chance for England to break free, but here's that forecheck from Ireland. They had so much success with it in the first half. We haven't seen it all too much throughout this England comeback.
And just a quick shout out to the English defense. It seems just like everything is contested. They know Foley wants to be a shot creator, and I don't think the last 4 shots he's taken have been clean.
And that's a good adjustment from the English defenders. They know who the shooters are for Ireland. No Brian Gillis in this game for the Irish, but you know who the big guns are for the most part. Of course, Connor Foley leading that. Matt Duncan, as England has Bucknell going to the goal, robbed by Shanahan. And Buchanan with one hand will drive after that loose ball and earn a reset for England. Janak wants to calm things down, use the 30, looking for Buchanan on the roll. He'll go behind the goal. Bucknell, Janak, missed the pass. Ireland will survive the shift.
Lucky break there for the Irish as that pass went just behind Janak. He finds himself on the defensive shift, so let's see if Ireland can exploit that.
Cale Grahan right now crashing and banging through the middle, just trying to clear space for Matt Duncan, who gets possession now. Foley wants it, Foley gets it. One defender to beat, he slips, keeps his feet moving, tries the underside, goes airborne, and that didn't make its way on goal. England now will start to move with 7 minutes left in this quarter.
Are you feeling overtime?
I don't know, man.
Both of them, that would mean someone's going to come away with an overtime win at this tournament if they go there. Both of them taking that loss to Finland maybe want some redemption.
Here's Prescott, another slipping forward, and the shot goes wide as a result. Prescott gets up on his horse and saves the back over. Bucknell, one more pass behind, missed the man, and Prescott, can't save that one again. England will get the free clear, or Ireland, check that, will get the free clear. Clock winds down to 6:42.
Feels like England has been trying to find the entry pass behind the net all game, and they haven't been able to land it until this fourth quarter.
Jab step by Duncan, looking for Quinn, missed his man. Still with possession now are the Irish. Quinn swings through. Grahan had his stick slashed at. That'll bounce back over center. And England, they want to get their red-hot offense right onto the floor right away. Transition, of course, important, but the England forwards have been firing here in the fourth quarter. It's been a shoot-till-you're-hot situation for them, and now it's a shoot-till-you-miss. Chance to drive for Roper. He's got 3 in this game. Buchanan open at the restraining line. Dragging shot. Did that go off a stick? No. It'll just go cleanly out of play.
Yeah, great defensive pressure there on the stick check to get that thrown into the netting for the turnover. I have a feeling that Grahan's going to get his number called here. He has been silenced since the first quarter goal, and you don't expect him to be off the score sheet for very long. So let's see if he can make that happen here.
Pass across. Shot, a bouncer, fought off. Big loose ball here. Up the boards. Duncan is going to put his team on his back and come up with it. That's a huge loose ball for Ireland. 5.5 to play. They want to use the clock here. Foley, maybe with some tired English defenders stuck on the floor, but playing with all sorts of adrenaline right now. Foley with the drive and flip. Bouncer, that'll go cleanly out of play. 17 seconds away until we get to the area where there could be a media timeout, and these teams feel like it's a well-deserved break just around the corner. Blaemeyers, Roper, how important has he been to England this game? Alsop had a big goal in this second half, but his pass across turns into maybe a break for Ireland, and great reverse transition from England to take away the drive to the goal. Now they got to make sure they don't take a penalty here with a couple of forwards stuck to defend.
Kind of a scary little slip up there, but luckily for Ireland, they're going to maintain offensive possession of the ball. Shot!
Foley from his wrong side, dangerously close. 7 to shoot. Quinn tucks, can't get around the forward. Roper, now a riser, and a big rebound that'll be picked up by Roper. I mean, for a forward, he was doing a pretty darn good job on the defensive end.
Roper so fast, so physical, has been the heartbeat of the team thus far today.
Chance now for Blaemeyers. He gets to his wrong side, swings back across, another stumble. Bucknell, Blaemeyers still on his wrong side. They've got to shoot. They try behind the goal. Ball is up for grabs in front of the crease. Ireland don't want to pick it up. They just want the whistle, and they just want the break. 9-8 is the score in favor of the Irish, but don't go anywhere. We got the final 4 minutes right here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships.
The Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high-quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world.
Back just in time to Radotín as you look at maybe some nervous Ireland fans. Well, the nerves now out the door. And remember, the Ireland women's team playing the next game against, guess who? The England women's team. So stick around after this one, for the interview featuring Garrett Gosshorn and whoever you're going to wrangle together. But then shortly thereafter will be another England-Ireland matchup in the women's division. 4 minutes remain here in regulation. England storming back into this game. At one point, they trailed by as many as 4 or 5. Corbett of Ireland trying to stop the run of England. Chance now for Brosnan. He stumbles, took a bit of contact as well. Ball falls to the corner. Grahan in a battle for it. Brosnan getting into it as well. Still up for grabs, and Ireland will pick it up, and they're going to say an unintentional reset of the clock, so England will get possession.
Speaking of names, you thought you would hear Brosnan has been held scoreless in this one, so Ireland, you're going to need a timely goal from some of your top players, whether it be Grahan, who's been quiet for a while, Brosnan quiet for a while. Somebody got to do it.
If there was a roof here at LCC Radotín, it would blow off if England is able to score another goal here to tie the game. Allsop down to Janak. There's a man open, but the pass is dropped by Blaemeyers. They've got a second to shoot, and Allsop will fire it to the corner just at the last second, and that went out of play. That's a bit of a lucky break for England. That looked like it was going to ricochet off the boards and all the way down the floor.
I thought so as well. That was a nice little play of footy there by Nick D'Amico, the assistant captain, to kind of wind down the rest of that shot clock.
Duncan sees a matchup that he likes. Can't beat it, however. Finds Quinn open as he's tied up but shooting, and it goes over the goal. Ball is down to the crease, and there's a penalty coming up to England. Devlin Shanahan is starting his march towards the bench for the extra attacker, and it's a fresh 30 for Ireland. Looks like the 30-second clock has been turned off for some reason as they get a shot through, and it'll be stopped by Jacob Brindle. A big save, and this is a crucial penalty kill for England's hopes at a comeback.
So we talked about the 4-goal run for Ireland that was stopped by the beauty shot by Oliver Allsop, and now England, they are on a 5-goal run themselves. We hadn't quantified it just yet, ladies and gentlemen, but this is a huge, huge moment if the Irish are going to staunch the bleeding.
Ireland's power play with 1 goal so far in this tournament. They're 1 for 16. What a time this would be to stop the bleeding, so to speak, of this England comeback. And they're going to work it slowly around the outside. Eat up the first half of this shot clock. We're under 2 minutes to play. Corbett to Duncan. Fakes the pass across. Now Foley with room. A riser off the shoulder. And another big reset for the Irish. Clock winds down to 1:35.
Not much separates game clock and penalties, so this is a huge moment of relaxation for the Irish. Very keen to just sit up there with Corbett.
Yeah, not a lot of movement. The England fans right now are just holding their breath. They know they're not going to get too many more opportunities. It's Corbett tied up, flips across, Foley shoots, and that didn't make its way through. That's a massive shot clock violation. Remember, England
Brindle goes.
They don't have a timeout. They get it across the floor. Blaemeyers fakes the pass. We're playing 5-on-5 now with the England net empty. Buchanan across. They're just going to work it around the perimeter, but somebody's got to be the shooter at some point here. Janak, backdoor, one-timer, robbed by Shanahan! And he's got time. He's going to fire it up the floor. The net is empty. Ireland won't shoot. Corbett's going to protect. Trying to draw a penalty here. No call comes. 35 seconds on the clock.
He had a stick stuck in his helmet. and no call. You could hear the dismay from the Irish fans as they thought that would ice the game, but Corbeck's trying to ice the game regardless.
Maybe controversy if England gets another chance. To the goal goes Foley. Big save. Ball stays in the crease, and England want a whistle as they get their goaltender to fall on top.
Brindle's got to go. He's got to get up and go.
He's got 15 seconds. Here come the English. Their last chance to tie this game. Ireland trying to make a stand. They double the ball carrier. It's down. 4 seconds. They shoot. They score!
Are you kidding?
England storm all the way back and score with 3 seconds left in regulation.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now, Tino. A 6-goal run for the English to tie the game, and the body language differential is an absolute cannon. Wow. I meant canyon. I can't even think.
It looked like they were gonna escape. They doubled the ball carrier. The ball went down, but it just took one shot. And Garrett, we're headed to overtime.
I told you. I told you. This game has been too good for it to end in regulation. We've got more lacrosse, ladies and gentlemen. Thank the lacrosse gods. Thank whatever gods you pray to, or none, or your grandma. It doesn't matter. We've got overtime for England and Ireland. One of them is going to come away with an overtime win. Today we'll be right back.
If you have missed any of this game so far, man, oh man, you have missed maybe the game of the tournament, at least through pool play. Ireland seemed like they were cruising to a win until England called a timeout midway through the third quarter of this game, just trying to wake up the group. Fellas, we're not playing nearly to our potential, and now it's been a run of 6 straight goals, including the game's tying goal from Jack Bucknell with 3 seconds left in regulation. And now, Garrett, we have made our way to sudden death overtime.
This could not have been written any more perfectly. As the online critics, the comments that come out are the script writers cooked.
You gotta look there at Walt Christensen, the head coach for Team England. What a decision that was to call a timeout. I've heard Teddy Jenner talk all week long, all tournament long, about his coaching abilities, and you know, when he needs to make a decision, he is not shy to do so. But now he needs his defenders to stand tall. Third overtime game of these European Championships. Both of these teams have been a part of one previously. They've both lost. Duncan ends the game on the first possession. 31 seconds in, and Ireland will stave off the England comeback.
So at the very beginning, I said Matt Duncan is the player to watch. He scores one early, basically right after, and goes completely radio silent until the team needs him most. Not all heroes wear capes, but tonight Matt Duncan might.
Ireland now will go on straight to the quarterfinal. They will play the winner of Scotland versus Italy. England will try to build off of this second overtime loss of the tournament. They're going to have to go to a play-in round, and they're going to have to go through Belgium. But all the talk now is going to be about their almost comeback If only they started this game the same way that they played from midway through the third quarter on until the final. And now, I mean, Garrett, I think I know who you're going to talk with, but you got some options from Ireland of who people are going to listen to you chat with in the post-game interview.
It's still so hard to choose. I mean, Duncan, the obvious choice, but just what an effort there by Corbett. He did a majority of the scoring early. Foley, just the heartbeat, but I did already speak with him, so I'll skip out on him that time. But wow, what an effort there for Ireland, and got plenty of choices on the English as well. So my goodness, what a game. Garrett Gosser and Tino Farah will be back for not the rematch, but the women's version, and we're just praying that they can give us something just the same and maybe more if they've got it in their bag.
All right, Garrett, you get the heck out of here. You wrangle up whoever it is you're going to wrangle together. I'll close things out up here in the booth. Ireland able to stave off England storming back into this game as you get a look at some of the goals we saw here in the second half on this miraculous English comeback, but it winds up just being too little too late on the backs of an unbelievable performance from Devlin Shanahan in goal. And we'll close things out up here. Again, reminder, England versus Ireland is coming up once again in the women's division in about an hour's time or so. So stick around if you want some more fun with me and Garrett. But now we'll say goodbye for the entire crew pushing the buttons on the production side of things, for the entire camera crew doing everything they do as well. For Garrett Gosshorn, I've been Tino Farah. Good night, everybody, from LCC Radotín.
Garrett Gosshorn here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships. I'm joined with Tom Roper of Team England. Tom, a heartbreaking loss, 2 losses in overtime. I feel really good about you guys, though, in your repeat bid efforts, as you lost to Finland, you lost to now Ireland in the group stages. You still have the chance for gold. What do you think these lessons that you're going to take away from these tough losses are going to be?
I mean, we always knew these games were going to be tight. We always knew they were going to be 1-goal games, potentially always going to power play. So I think we just need to continue what we're doing, play the full 60 minutes, and we'll regather and try and get back a win next time.
Absolutely. I feel like what I saw from you guys the last day was, you started early, today you started late, so putting together that full 60 minutes I think would be a pretty fearsome English team. But, walk me through like how you felt today. I thought you were all over the floor for England. You were on the forward play mostly, but in transition I thought you were incredibly excellent. So what does it mean to you to take on the extra roles that you're given, and you know, what do you take to your next games moving forward?
Yeah, honestly, I love doing it. I just love playing kind of any role for the team and being where I can and adding value where I can. So yeah, I'm just going to continue doing that and yeah, trying to help the team as best as possible.
Absolutely. Walk me through just how you guys feel about Jacob Brindle today. He was outstanding. I mean, holding that Ireland offense to just 10 goals is seriously impressive, and I know a lot of trust placed in him after the first few goals came in early. You know, what were you guys saying to him after that?
Yeah, he's such a great guy. He's such a great keeper. We just said, keep doing your thing, man. You know, you're gonna save some are gonna go in, but you're gonna do well. Your percentage is just gonna be high, so just keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. So you guys got a date with Belgium tomorrow, so best of luck with that. We'll be watching closely. Tom, great game today, and keep balling out.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Good job.
Bye.
Testing, sound check. Garrett Gosthorn here at the European Box Lacrosse Championships. I'm joined by the golden goal scorer himself, Matt Duncan. Matt, walk me through just what happened in that game. You guys cruised out to an early lead. I thought potential, maybe a lopsided game coming. They stormed back. You know, what was going on the bench that kept you guys in this game?
Yeah, we started off pretty much doing everything we wanted to, and then I think we kind of let that slip and got away from what we were trying to do. I mean, credit to them. They started turning it on. I think they made some adjustments that were working out for them, but I think we just got away from our game a little bit, and then when we got back to it and weathered the storm, kind of came out on top. So a lot of supporting one another and just trying to stick with it one play at a time.
Absolutely. How much does this day off tomorrow mean to you guys after, you know, we had some crazy heat this week, and now here we are standing in the rain. Can you believe it? What does a day off mean?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't in the back of my mind near the end of the game, especially when we're going into extra time. So luckily we ended it early too, and then yeah, to get a day off, it is huge. I think as you've seen a lot of overtime games, this is anyone's tournament, so that extra day of rest is going to be huge, especially for game planning and just overall just getting your feet up.
Yeah, absolutely. Like in speaking with Team England before the game, they said they knew it was going to be a one-goal game. As the lead mounted, I couldn't believe it myself. And then, you know, anybody can fall from 1 to 7 is basically what they said. So now you guys have a really good chance, you know, potentially a gold medal contention. You know, just walk me through like what your guys' mental state is right now after correcting the ship, the Finland overtime loss. Now you get an overtime win today. What do you think will be your main takeaway as we enter the knockout stages?
Yeah, we're really just trying to focus on ourselves, right? Every single game we kind of look back at it and, all right, how can one person, you know, what's one thing you can do better? What's one thing we can do as a team better, right? And then no matter who we play, right, if we clean those up, we get better every single time, lay a brick every single time, we'll just get closer to that version of ourselves that we want to be. So not necessarily focused on the opponent, but just getting better each day as a team and getting closer as a team. So
yeah, absolutely. And I got to tell you, I gave you maybe the announcer's blessing or curse. I said at the beginning, you're a player to watch. You scored a goal right after that. Silent until the golden goal. So good job on that. Congratulations on the win. We're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the tournament shakes out for you guys. But great job today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.